Okay, 9687 and 94.
It's always the Russian judge.
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Oh, Victor! The world is a better place. As of today, the world is actually a better place. Do you know why?
Nope.
Do you know why it's a better place? Are you sure?
idea.
Okay, well, I'm going to break it down to you very easily. There is a man named Larry Nassar who was just convicted of basically ruining gymnasts' lives who were on the U.S. Olympic team, and I think also the University of Michigan. And he was just sentenced to 175 years, up to 175 years in prison. It's awesome. The judge actually said, "It is my privilege to hand down this sentence." She said, "I've just signed your death warrant because I find that you don't get it and that you're a danger and you remain a danger."
And so I'm like, fuck you. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh, it's fantastic. You have to understand. So they expected 88 victims to actually show up in court and give testimony for the sentencing.
88.
Right? 88.
Sweet, fancy Moses.
Yeah. You know how many showed up?
Victims? What did he do to them?
You want to know how many showed up? Guess how many showed up. Guess. How many?
47.
Oh, close. 156.
Victims?
Yes.
So they expected almost
80.
90.
Yeah.
And they got 160 victims?
Yeah, because all of these very brave women got together and decided that they were not going to stand for it. So the world is a better place. But you know what? If we're talking honestly, the fact of the matter is that I'm pretty sure that all of those victims would gladly trade those years in jail for two ignorant, ill-informed, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions that they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture. As impossible as that may seem. So, listeners, now that you know why you're here, I'm Keith. My co-host is Victor. Say hello, Victor.
Hello.
Hello. And here, straight from the doggy daycare, we have the very talented Linette Tobin from the band Pangaea. Pangaea, is that right? Pangaea. So welcome.
Pancakes.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And we say from the doggy daycare because we also live in studio
Oh my God, Keith! There's a puppy. There's a puppy. I see a puppy. I want a puppy. There's a puppy.
We have a pug in the studio. This is Bigley. Hi, Bigley.
Bigley.
There you go. Bigley jumped off the chair. So you're going to hear Bigley running around and growling and being ridiculous, I'm sure. Yes, and humping our legs, as dogs do. I was telling Linette earlier that we try to get all of our guests to hump our legs, but it rarely ever works out. Today, I'm feeling good. I have a really good feeling.
Time.
So speaking of humping legs, how do you feel about this Larry Nassar situation?
Nice transition there.
No, the story gives me chills. It feels so good.
Oh, it is.
And the judge also said to the first woman who came forward, "You're the bravest woman I've ever had in my courtroom."
Yeah.
So just beautiful.
Boss.
It's a difficult thing to do, right? And,
Yeah, it is.
And I don't think we give enough credit to that. You've already gone through this trauma, right? And then to stand in front of people and say basically what is the most embarrassing, horrifying, like just the thing that has terrified you the most over probably years, if not decades.
Especially
and now
with all the victim shaming these days.
Yeah. And you go, yeah, I'm going to talk about that. And so the fact that 156 women rose up to do that, I think is amazing. And I hope that it's a testament to women in the world that when these things happen, you should speak up. And guys who are out there listening, back those people. Like if a woman is brave enough to step up and say that, you can back down and say like, well, I don't know, maybe she's making it up. 99% of the time, it's not the case though. Like maybe that 1%, cool, but like we'll figure that one out. Like let's get the others panned out, and this is what should be happening.
Right.
And let's not discount that this does sometimes happen to men as well.
That's true.
And the same victim shaming and all that happens. it happens to them too, because they're just as embarrassed as I'm a man and I got, this happened to me. Like, what kind of a man am I now? You know?
Yeah, the thing is, they deserved it. Like, I don't know.
They
if you
wouldn't dress like that.
Yeah,
if they
if
didn't
you
want
see how
it,
guys
but,
dress, they basically, I mean, they want it, right? They were
flip
just
flops and
asking for it.
tube socks. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I know. Women should be respected. Guys, we know what you're thinking. We know it. No, but yeah, it happens to everyone. It happens more often to women, at least outside of prison. But anybody can be a victim. And the fact that all these people stood up and had the courage to state these things. There was even one person, and I forgot her name, but she had actually had an issue with him early on and went to court and got a settlement. And part of the settlement was like a gag order where she wasn't allowed to say anything. And then she actually also joined this group. And there was this talk about like it was going to cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars as like a fine. And that's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
Like
Worth
the
it.
fact that you can be like, okay, yeah, I did that, but don't tell anyone about it. Here's some money. And you think like that's legally binding somehow is weird. It's just creepy.
Whatever.
Stormy
I
Daniels.
guarantee some fund can start up somewhere and be
Oh my
like,
goodness.
pay for what's her face's legal fees because this guy's a jackass.
Was that who it was? Stormy Daniels? Is it?
No.
No. What was that one?
Stormy Daniels.
I know the name.
Is the porn star that had the affair with Trump.
Oh, right. See, to me, that's a little different. Like, if you have an affair and like you're paid off to not talk about the affair, like that wasn't like technically illegal or anything. Like, it was kind of like, yeah, it was like, okay, just don't talk about it. And we're like, cool, here's some money. Like, that doesn't bother me. But when you're literally like a predator and you have like ruined people's lives and then you're like, here's some money, don't tell anybody about how I ruined your life.
Right.
That's just like a new
Deal.
level of creep. I mean, so good for him. And you were telling me this, he had a letter that he brought in pre-trial. What did the letter say?
Well, before sentencing, he stood up and basically apologized to the victims and said,
Wait, hold on. He said he's sorry?
Yeah.
he did
Well,
apologize.
then everything's fine.
Yeah. Why don't we let him out? He said he's sorry.
But this,
Aw,
this
beauty.
judge,
It was 15 minutes of fun, right? It was just it was just 156 bad decisions. Why should it ruin his life? Right? No? Yeah.
and the judge looked at him and said, "I don't believe you." And then she pulled out a letter he had written
Yeah.
before the trial where he was denying everything and saying these girls were making it up. They were lying.
Yeah.
And she read that and said, "I'm basing my sentence on what you had to say when you weren't in front of me." So
I
it
like
was
that.
fantastic.
No, yeah. There's this whole Me Too wave that's been happening, with the hashtag Me Too. And there's been a lot of stuff that's come out of that, a lot of it really horrifying. But I do feel like we need to start figuring out what the striations on that are, right? Because like this is just like sun hot, right? It's like that. It's just horrible. There is absolutely nothing. And then there's levels of like just shittier, like shitty and slightly less shitty. And then there's like somebody said something mean to me, right? Down towards the
Right.
bottom, which isn't right, but it isn't also in the same case.
Is
and
it
that's where-
criminal would be really the distinction there.
One of the ones I like to point to is, and let me preface this by saying it was absolutely wrong. It should have never have happened. It is unacceptable. But the things that
Every Carrot Top video ever.
yes, but the things that came out about Louis C.K., right?
Nah.
Those things never should have happened. But the way he handled it, I give him credit for. Because unlike almost everybody else, he said, yeah, you know what? I did that. And that's the only reason I think he may have gotten it, right? Like, I think he did things wrong, was stupid, was arrogant. But now that it's brought to light, he's said, yeah, I need to stop doing that. Most
Like,
of the others, it's,
I get why that was wrong.
I didn't. It wasn't even me. I don't even know that person. And then facts
But
come up and they're
she
like,
even,
oh.
dude, she caught you in the shower. It wasn't me.
yeah. And then
She
the
got it on
facts-
camera. It wasn't me. She caught us on the sofa.
It's Shaggy. But yeah, and then when it comes out, they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm really sorry about that. It's like, no, you're not. You did everything you could to make it like it was go away and like it was okay. Yep.
And the really recent one, Asi Sansari being shamed for, a bad date, for pressuring his date to have sex when she didn't want to. It's not criminal. No. It's
unfortunate.
But you have to consider it like a cup of tea. That's what sex is. It's a cup of tea.
Oh, is this the consent tea?
Well, you invite somebody over to your place and you offer them tea. They say, oh yeah, I'd love some tea. So you start making tea and then they change their mind. You can't shove the tea down their throat. They change their mind. You can't give it to them. Or they might say, no, I'm not really in the mood for tea. Maybe later I might change my mind.
Yeah.
In the middle of drinking a glass of tea, they might have had half of it and gone, I don't want any more tea.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's fine.
You can't force it down. You can't force them to drink it. Then
no, I agree.
It's the same situation.
So it's good to know that Anis Ansari is unfortunate. It's going to happen in society. It wasn't wrong per se, but it was really awkward, and and we as a society can get better about these things, right?
Right. If it makes people think a little bit more about taking the other person's actions and reactions into account. That's good for everyone involved.
Look at us taking the moral high road.
But we also just need to make sure that we're not putting him in this group, right? He's as awkward as that night was, as uncomfortable as it might have made her, from what I read, when she said like, I don't really want to do this. He was like, all right, cool. Like, let's just watch some Netflix, right?
And then he did it anyway.
And that's the other side of the universe from guys like Larry Nassar, who literally just, all right, I'm going to go ahead and say it should just be killed. They should just be killed and murdered. I'm good with that. So in studio for all of you lovely people who are wondering is Linette Tobin. We mentioned her earlier. She is in a band called Pangaea.
Yes.
I always said Pangaea before, but now I've been corrected. So
well, now
it's
I'm
your
thinking
band.
about it. It's possible Pangaea.
Yeah. I trust you because you actually picked the name. So you have a big show coming up.
I did.
On Saturday, February 3rd at Bosta Bistro and Lounge.
Bosa Bistro. Bosa. Right. In Adams Morgan, 18th Street.
And that's down in Washington, D.C.
It is.
You said it's like an early show, 7:30 it starts?
It is. It's an early show, 7:30 to 9:30. And yeah, full band doing some world music.
Which is, I think, going to be a fan. We have a track of yours that we're going to play a little bit later. That's called Beauty in the Air, right? And if you want to hear the whole track, you can fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this podcast right now. You might want to keep in mind where you were. Listen to the track, come back and join us. And you can learn more about Linette if you go to www.linettecongamusic.com. Or Kunga. I noticed you said that way. So
my instrument.
I need to work on these.
And so sure it's not the any of the 57 instruments that engineer Adam mentioned?
Yeah, he did make up a few episodes back. He made up a lot of instruments that he
played. Electric boomerang, whatever.
Yeah, it was. I don't think any of them are real. I think he made them up. But so
it's impressive.
Definitely go check that out. In the meantime, we're going to take away your kunga. Right, we're gonna remove your band from the image, and we're gonna put you in a brand new role.
A whole new world.
Yes, right now you are going to become the latest editor-in-chief of a brand new publication. All right,
are you up for this? So excited, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the segment we like to call the Weather Report. We, as your loyal reporters, are going to pitch you some stories. You're going to let us know whether or not they make it into your publication, and feel free to let us know where they're going to be. Keep in mind, at the end, we're going to need to know the name of this publication so that people can find it on their bookshelves and news stands. So do you want to kick us off today, Victor?
Sure. This was I really had to search the internet for stuff that was just wild and bizarre. And this was the first thing that I was like, what? That's not a thing that happens. Saddam Hussein wrote a romantic novel, and it's for sale on Amazon for Valentine's Day. It's really thinly veiled political bullshit. And okay, the article says, in case you're looking to inject a bit of spice into your life, the novel contains one particularly odd scene during which a character describes in great detail a sex scene between a shepherd and a bear, which is thought to represent the relationship of Iraq and Russia.
Sure.
You know,
I want to know what those relations look like.
Like you do.
Wow.
Which one was the boy and the girl?
Solid question. I may just have to read the book. Not to turn this into like a commercial or anything, but what the fuck? How did he have time to...
We have an excerpt from the book here. It says, and then after making sweet love, we slept soundly as if we had been gassed. That was...
Yep.
It's very romantic. Yeah.
How delightful.
Yeah. It's really nothing like Nerve Agent to really kick the mood into gear. So
I need a clarification. Is this a like a romance guide, how to romance, or is this a romance novel?
So you take your Scud missile. you
have to approach the bear from the front. Okay, you have to let them know you're coming.
Israel and hope that it connects. Yeah, is it like a fantasy novel or is it an instruction guide?
It is fictional, but it's very thinly veiled as like so then the bear declared nuclear war and well, you know.
I would be concerned if it was an instruction guide for how to have sex with a bear and what
you
was
have
it?
to approach the bear from the front.
Yes. Make sure no sudden movements.
So, Keith.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I am having a baby crisis.
Oh, okay.
So I
take
need
it from here.
to step out. I wish you guys the best.
Will you be
back?
back?
Need to take care. Maybe I need to take care of this little guy because my lady is very sick. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you go do that. I'm going to go through some of my stories, and hopefully you'll join us at the end.
Word. I'll be taking care of business.
All right. So for those of you that don't know, Victor comes to us live over Skype, and in this moment, he's taking care of a tiny baby. If you've been following the show, you'll know that he disappeared from the show for a little bit because there was a baby. And so now he's back on the show, but there's still a baby. Apparently, they don't go away very quickly. And so he'll still have to do this from time to time for the next 18 years. And so I'm going to go through some of my stories. We usually go back and forth.
Okay.
Right. But I'll do mine, and then hopefully Victor will come back and do his when we're done.
Hopefully I'll be able to hop back. Maybe we can rearrange the order of the show.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
So first question is, you've heard Victor's first story. Is it news? You don't have to wait and think at the end. You can think the whole way through the story. Yeah.
It's news.
Does it make it into your publication?
It doesn't really sound like it has any inherent value. Okay. But,
I mean, we laughed really loud at it.
Yes, it is funny. I'm going to say, okay, so the article is going to tell people about the book that he wrote.
And how to have sex with bears.
And how to have sex with bears.
I assume.
Okay. If the proceeds from the sale of the book goes to a good cause, I will publish this article.
I have no idea. I mean, it can't go to him, right?
Right.
So,
if it's going to his estate, then no.
Yeah, I don't even know where his estate would be at this point.
Nor do I.
I think we've murdered just about everyone in his estate. So, yeah, that's a good question. It might be just going straight to Amazon. All right.
So I'm going with that.
We're going to hold off
until we know about the proceeds.
Okay. All right. That's fair. You are the chief. So, I mean, I'm not going to cross you on these things. All right. So in that case, I've got a few stories I'm going to pitch to you in a row. Right. And you're going to let me know if you think that they can make it in. And maybe by that time, we'll see if Victor can make it back. So first off.
Ready.
Yes. Did you hear about the Hawaiian missile crisis?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone knows about the faux alert that went out to the Hawaiians, alerting them about the missile attack, right? Apparently, the Hawaiian missile alert update was delayed because the governor could not find his Twitter password. So they didn't say, "Oh, just kidding," right? This is not an alert, because they were like, where do we put that? Now, I don't know if what's more of a disturbing trend in politics personally, the fact that Twitter is now like an official form of communication in politics, or that the politicians still don't seem to grasp how it works. So I imagine them going like, okay, Google, have Alexa tell Siri to stop the missile alert. No. Damn it. Where's my Twitter password? God, I guess we'll just have to tweet it out until we develop some kind of official system that can send fucking alerts directly to people's cell phones. I don't know, like the one that just sent fucking alerts to people's cell phones. Who cares if you don't have your Twitter password? Just call the guy who did the initial fuck up and tell him to fuck up again, but this time change the message to JK, right? And then we're good. This is not rockets hitting Hawaii science, people. I'm just saying, we could have made this work really easily.
Perfectly logical.
Yeah.
Right.
You know that it works. It happened. Right. Just do that again and just be like, nah, it didn't. No. Like April Fools in January.
Right.
So the question is it news?
That is definitely
That's news. Okay.
Right. Right.
All right, good.
There's a problem with an alert system. that is news.
Right, the alert system. But I think it's interesting that there's a problem with the alert system. Instead of using that alert system, they went to Twitter. They're like, we have to tell people the alert system isn't working right. What should we use? Twitter. Like, skywrite it. Why don't you just use the alert system?
This is news.
Yeah, all right.
It's in my publication.
Excellent. Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm out ahead of Victor. I'm a little competitive.
Okay.
So just so you know, I'm winning right now.
Yes, you are.
Now, he's not in the room, so that makes it easier, but I feel really good about my chances.
Stretch your lead.
Yeah. All right, next up, we have a Vancouver Island ski resort is closed this weekend due to too much snow. Yeah. Do you know when the end of times is nigh? It's when there's so much snow that it closes down a ski resort in Canada. That's right. I thought DC reacted poorly to snow. We just closed schools. Canada. Oh, I'm disappointed in you. I expected better. Now, in their defense, they did get 3.5 feet of snow in just 24 hours. Just to keep in mind, that's a Warwick Davis worth of snow. That was the guy who played Willow.
Okay, but they're Canadians.
They're Canadians and they ski. You would think they would be able. They're like, oh, snow. We know exactly what to do with this.
Hardy people,
right? Well, the interesting thing is they did reopen. So it got they got the snowstorm on Sunday. They closed it. Monday they were open again.
Good.
So that's still impressive because we get like 3 inches of snow and schools closed for like 4 days because we're like, what is all this stuff on the streets? They got 3 feet of snow and they were like, we'll see you tomorrow. It'll be fine. We just got to get stuff out of here. So I thought that was amazing, though.
That's a good story too.
Yeah. So is that's news?
Timely. Yes.
Look at that. All right.
Right.
Excellent.
You're way up now.
I've doubled my score already. Oh, if Victor were here, he'd be so jealous. But instead, he is beating his child. I assume. I don't know that factually.
No.
Allegedly, he's beating his child.
Do you think he knew your stories were this good and he just decided to duck out at this moment?
He saw the document and was like, no, I don't think this is going to go well. I'm going to pass on this. I don't think so, but I like to think so. I don't think it's true, but I want it to be true. I really do. All right. So last but not least on my list, a dozen camels. All right, it's already good, right? We're already on a roll just with a dozen camels.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
It's in the publication.
A dozen camels. I'm just going to do this in bits because it works.
Okay.
It's one of those things. It's like a Mad Lib. Like as I go down the sentence, it just gets better. Okay. A dozen camels have been thrown out of a Saudi beauty contest.
Okay.
Because of the use of Botox to make them more handsome.
Wait,
Yeah.
The camels were the contestants?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. They were thrown out because of the use of Botox to make them more handsome. I assume, and also because they're fucking camels.
Wow.
Right? Like, but okay. If I'm being honest, it is a camel beauty contest. So Saudi Arabia apparently like once a year has a huge to like celebrate like their history and their culture. They have a huge like camel fest. It's like a month long. They have races and they have like skill things that happen and they all these different things. They have vendors and all this stuff. And one of the things that's a part of it is a beauty contest, which baffles me. Because I swear to God, I could not pick out a handsome camel out of a caravan of camels. Like, if you just lined them up and said, show me the handsome one,
Right.
I don't know what makes a handsome camel.
Right.
Do you?
No, and I'm curious about this. I want to know if the winner was the smoothest faced camel or if wrinkles on camels are considered interesting or distinguished.
Yeah, I would think the former because Botox gets rid of wrinkles. So if they used Botox to make them more handsome, they smoothed out their camels, right? And so, yeah, I don't know. If I close my eyes and think really hard, I can imagine an ugly camel, right? Like I can do that. That part I've got, right? If you were to be like, think of an ugly camel, I can be like, oh yeah, no. I totally am thinking of a really ugly camel right now. But if you said, think of a handsome camel, I would just think of a camel.
I'm seeing long eyelashes. That should count, right?
Yeah. All right. Very thick eyelashes. I could see that. Good teeth. Yeah, I don't know.
The coat.
Yeah,
the
maybe
shade of the coat, the softness. If camels are supposed to be soft,
I assume so. I don't know. Maybe like the symmetricalness, like how symmetrical their humps are. Maybe I don't. If they have two humps, depending on the type of camel. Like,
but we don't even know if they're supposed to be symmetrical.
That's true. God, we know so little about camels. What are we doing with our lives, Linette?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. I can barely pick out a camel from a horse at this point.
This is why this story would also be in my publication.
This is news.
So that people think about what beauty means to a camel.
Honestly, the only handsome camel I can think of sells cigarettes to children. That's the only one. That's it. And he was smooth. It did say that in the ads, smooth. I'm assuming that was important for his handsomeness.
Good thing to pick up on.
Yeah, good old Joe. All right, so that's all we have for our news.
Okay.
Maybe if Victor comes back, we'll listen to some of his stuff. But for now, we'll just assume that I've won and that I'm better than he is. Right?
Okay.
And then, so let's talk a little bit about your music. We'll kind of jump ahead and do a little bit of our interview stuff while he's away, and maybe he'll come back and we can finish our publication.
All right.
So where did you have a very interesting name for your band? It's Pangaea or Pangaea, one of them. Pajamas. It's something like that. And that was the name of the landmass when everything was mushed together.
Right.
So that makes kind of sense because the sound that you have is very world music. So it's the idea that people could walk, there wasn't oceans between us.
Right.
And in your music, there's not oceans between the different types of music. Is that kind of
That's exactly what it is. It is. It's the landmass before it separated into different continents.
What drove you to conga? Like that's a pretty unique instrument, especially for us white people, right? Like you don't usually grow up in Northern Virginia thinking, I am going to play hand drums, right?
Well, no, I grew up in Oregon.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh my God. In Oregon, they don't even let you pump your own gas. That's how white it is in Oregon. They're like...
And it's white.
Yeah.
And also the percussion or congas aren't yet very common for women either.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is. Drums in general, kind of a more male-dominated area. I mean, music is pretty male-dominated too.
Other than vocalist.
Right.
Women are way underrepresented.
Yeah.
So.
Unless you have like the guitarist for Michael Jackson, who's awesome.
There you go.
Yep. So yeah, what got you into that?
Oh. So I didn't start learning percussion until I was in my 30s.
Wow. Okay. So like last year?
Last year, right?
Yeah.
So I've been at it for a year and a half now.
Yeah. No, you're very good for the limited experience that you've had. That's impressive.
So what really got me into it, I just wanted to I love drumming. I love dance music. And I'm an immigration attorney.
Are you?
And so I'm interested in human rights issues.
Nice.
So this is all coming back to the band. I wanted to go to Cuba to see why I wasn't supposed to go to Cuba.
I like the attitude. Like, why can't I do this? I'm going to go do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was way back, and I'm like, well, I want to go see what the big deal is. Why am I not supposed to go here?
Yeah. Why is this so cut off?
And I went and just fell in love with the music. It was everywhere, on the streets and in homes. There was no getting away from the drumming and the music, and the drumming, the percussion there was really complex. It's just sort of layer upon layer upon layer,
Yeah.
and you just feel like your mind is stretching as you listen to it. There's just so much going on, and all rhythm. It all comes down to math, and it's just everyone working together, and it was beautiful. And I came back, and the first percussion I started studying was Afro-Cuban, which is one of the most difficult.
Yeah.
And I was hooked once I got started. I was absolutely hooked. And
there's something great about Cuba because it's been. I mean, it's horrible that it was cut off for so long, but because it really developed very deep roots in its own culture, right? It wasn't as globalized as a lot of other places.
Well, absolutely.
So they have such an interesting culture because it is very much theirs. I remember seeing like a whole documentary on just how many, where is it, prevalent, like old classic cars are American cars are in Cuba because they basically got cut off from the world in the late 50s or 60s, somewhere in there, right? And so the cars that they had were all the cars that were ever going to make it across, the ocean.
Right.
So they just kept fixing them and just made it work because they weren't going to get any new ones. And so now there's all of these amazing like 40s and 50s and early 60s cars like over in Cuba.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so cool.
Right.
It's a time capsule, really.
Mm-hmm. It is. And it's fun for us travelers. I hope things get better for Cubans.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a tough life.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully the steps have happened to open up things and allow, some wealth to flow in. And, that hopefully us as travelers will be able to go in there and help spur that on and make a difference because, it's been a rough life, but it is a fascinating time capsule.
But one positive point about a socialist or communist society is that the musicians there don't have to work day jobs. If you're talented enough to be chosen to go to the music conservatories, you get to dedicate your life 24/7 to music without too many distractions. So the level of
Bigley likes this, right, Bigley? You like it? Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Bigley the pug.
Yeah, you do. Bigley the pug. Bigley the pug.
The level of musicianship is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Very cool. So you have a piece of music here that you brought to us. Tell us a little bit about this.
All right. So this song is something that I co-wrote with a Senegalese bass player.
And it's called Beauty in the Air.
It's Beauty in the Air.
And this is going to be on a upcoming album, you were saying, right? Something you've been working on for a while.
I'm working on a CD. It's my first one.
Oh, okay, cool.
I hadn't ever thought I would do one. I had never wanted to. And about a year ago, all of a sudden, I'm like, I want to write music and make a CD. And with the support of a friend, it's happening.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
That the bass
Bigley's
player,
very excited about your CD.
Bigley is barking and humping your leg.
Yes.
She's being a little disruptive.
I want to be in this too. I want to be a part of this show. Yeah.
Okay, wait. The bass player, his name is Itu Dang Dieng.
Oh, wow. That's a great name.
He's Senegalese.
It sounds like a bass part.
Dieng,
Like,
yeah. He's
amazing.
Amazing. And we were just at my house jamming one night and put together the structure of this song in less than 2 hours.
Wow.
And then I went back later and did the melody and lyrics.
Okay.
that's what we did. It was really the easiest song to write that
Very
I've done
cool.
so far.
All right, well, let's take a little listen
quick
to it.
one?
We're going to do about 20 seconds here. If you want to listen to the whole song, you can stop here, go to the 1 hour mark of this podcast, listen to it in entirety, and then come back here, but maybe just 20 seconds later, and we'll jump back into the podcast. So this is the song Beauty in the Air.
There's beauty in the air, so take me there, there's joy in the air, so lift me there, there's life in the air, let me live there, I'm floating in the air, let me stay here, inspired by the expanse of the sky. Beauty in the air, dreaming in a copse of clouds, weightless through flight.
I have to say, when you sent this in, took a listen to it. What I loved about it is kind of the eclectic. You hear influences from a lot of different places, especially when you go and dogs. You hear dogs. Yeah. What is that? What did you find?
A mirror, most likely.
I think it was a guitar amp. Do you want to play guitar? Do you want to play guitar? Do you want to play guitar? And
She's so helpful.
yeah, she is. She's bringing life to the show. But yeah, I encourage everyone, if you do get a chance, go to the end of the show, take a listen to the whole thing. There's a lot of really interesting rhythms and patterns and accents that you wouldn't usually hear in your standard music, like pop music that you'd hear on the radio and stuff. And so I think you sum it up really well. It's challenging, right? There's a bit of you having to sit and listen and go, oh, what was that? Like, and allow your mind to open up a little and hear something that you're not used to. It's easy to listen to, anything that's on the radio. It's kind of spoon fed to you. The music that I heard that you sent in was not that. It was something that you had to take a moment and decide that you were going to listen and appreciate what's there. So I like that.
I
think,
appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's a neat quality to have something that's a little challenging. Not to say that it's difficult to listen to, but it challenges what your perceptions would be of, especially in Western music and pop music, what's right? What's good music? What's standard? It's,
Right.
oh yeah, you could play a guitar that way. You could play the drums that way. You can put those rhythms and things in it, and that actually works.
Well, it's
Yeah.
really, that's exactly the idea of the group and Pangaea, is that as musicians, we all have different experiences and influences. And so I grew up on American music, but then studied Cuban and went to several countries in Africa and played with West African groups, and just allowing all those experiences to be joined and united in a way that feels natural, and letting each musician bring their own individualism and backgrounds in. And what is created without trying to be of a certain genre or fit into a certain box or sound like anyone else. We're just trying to unify our experiences in a way that we're enjoying.
Well, and you're hoping that the it's more than some of the parts, right? That's
Right. Right.
We need a dog in the studio more often, because I know that you're listening and so you're not seeing what's going on, but it's bedlam right now and it's hilarious. The dog's diving into things and it's just great. So, anyhow, great. So that's a little sense of what's to come. As again, go the 1 hour mark, you listen to the whole song, and I assume you will be playing that song
Yes.
at your show, right?
Right. And we have different people from different countries. We have Sweden and Bulgaria and Puerto Rico, definitely.
Which is interesting. You don't think of Sweden as being a music mecca, right? That's not a place you Cuba, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
South America, African, there's definitely huge influences there.
Mm-hmm.
But Sweden, you're like,
Right.
Oh, I think that you do metal music. I think that's what Sweden does. Anything to keep warm. That's what you do in Sweden. So that's really cool. Yeah.
We're a definite mix. So, yeah.
Excellent. And that's going to be Saturday, February 3rd at Bosa Bistro and Lounge. That's in Adams Morgan in Washington, D.C., 7:30 to 9:30. So go check her out. And if you want to find out about other shows or more music as they come down the pipe the rest of this year, go to www.linettecongamusic.com. And that's Linette with an I, not a Y. So Linette. Correct?
Perfect.
I nailed it. Oh, I'm so good at spelling. We'll go to our next segment here, which you may or may not have heard. Do we have a Victor back? Oh, it looks like with a baby. So this is a segment we like to call Please God, Just Get One Right.
Oh, no. I'm going to call it Please God, Help Me Get One Right.
That's fine. There's no failure here. We're just doing this for entertainment. You just you got to be in charge for the last one.
That's true.
Now we get to like pile it on you a little bit.
All right.
So here we have, we're going to give you some trivia questions. Okay. And those trivia questions, are from our previous guest. I don't know if you listened, but Tyler, Plazio. It was Plazio, who's with Soldiers of Suburbia. So he had to deal with the topic of espionage. And for you, he selected the topic of Broadway musicals. So,
okay.
Yeah, so we have a few Broadway musical trivia things that we'd like to pass by and see if you can, please, God, just get one right.
I am ready. I'm not hopeful.
No?
You know how, the whole gym class being chosen last?
Yeah.
I will be chosen last on every and any trivia team.
It's really difficult
Victor's
to
back! Hey,
put your
Victor!
headphones on with a baby in your arms.
Yeah, hey, baby.
Can you see my little goblin?
You look so
No,
cute.
just the top of the goblin head. Does it have a face? Nope, the
No.
mic's in the way. No face.
These faces. That's all right. I'll show you guys later. But I'm back, unless he wakes up, in which case I need to run out of here.
Okay, sounds good. So, do you want me to just kind of blow through these and you can speak to them? Does that make it easier for you?
No. I
Or
got
do you
some
wanna-
questions for you.
You want to
actually.
read them? Okay. So I'll get started. So here we go. Without further ado, you get to test your incredible knowledge about the Broadway musicals. The Phantom of the Opera. You've heard of this, right?
I have.
Look at that. You're
Yes,
already
I
on
got
track.
one. I got
That
one.
was it. True. That's a Broadway musical.
That is.
The Phantom of the Opera is the longest running Broadway musical in history. What year did it debut? If you take long enough, it'll come to you.
Right.
That's the trick. If you just
I-
wait in silence, you'll be like, oh, I know.
I have no
Fun fact,
idea.
it's as old as I am.
1980.
Oh, close.
Oh, wow. She thinks I'm
1988.
really old.
Yeah, so not bad.
I'm close enough.
Yeah, that
I
was
don't feel
pretty close.
humiliated.
No, not at all. I thought you
Yeah.
were going to keep going. You were like 1980. And I was like,
that would've
oh
been
no, she's done.
amazing.
All right, do you want to take one? So we didn't get one. That's all right. We've got 5 more to go. You've still got a chance. It's all right. You could still get a box
All
of
right.
fun prize.
I got one. Ballpark estimate as to how many times it has Phantom of the Opera has played over the years.
So it opened in 1988. It's still running now. How many times has it actually been performed?
Only on Broadway or
Yeah.
anywhere in the world?
No, just on Broadway.
This is a math question, isn't it?
It's kind of a math question, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't take the time to do the math.
15,000 times.
Oh, actually, that's pretty close. 11,400 times, but
yeah.
it is
You know
still
what?
running.
That's not bad. Yeah.
I was calculating the math and I was going to say 12,000 and then I decided I'd better bump it up.
Bump it up. Oh, you were so close. Oh, well, that's a shame. That would have been pretty badass if you had pulled that one. If you'd said like, I don't know, like 11,437, and we were like, oh my
Still no
god.
cigar. Nope.
Named after brothers George Gershwin, a composer, and Ira Gershwin, a lyricist, the Gershwin Theater has the largest seating capacity of any Broadway theater. With how many seats?
Wow. 4,000?
Oh, that's a very big theater. It didn't get as close this time.
It was way too big.
It was 1,933 seats. A little more intimate than your arena.
My arena.
That's
Meriwether
not
Post.
close enough.
Okay.
You're watching Phantom of the Opera over at the what is that? Wolf Trap. I think is that. It's like 4,000. So yeah, close, but
Phantom of the Wolf Trap.
it was half that, so not close.
Are there 7 questions?
6 questions. We
Okay,
might have an
2
extra
more?
bonus one. Oh no, 3 more. I think. Yeah,
3 more.
yeah.
So, in most Broadway theaters, there is one letter of the alphabet when it comes to row seating that they skip.
What?
Which one is it?
I didn't know that.
H.
Ooh.
Why H?
Just cause. Don't question her.
It's my
She is a
guess.
woman and she will do what she wants. She
No.
went to. You missed.
Make
You
a
missed
real
out.
guess. Make
You
a real
missed-
guess.
You missed
I.
out.
The letter
I.
I.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's genius. That is exactly the answer because they don't want people to buy a ticket for row I thinking that they're sitting in row 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You got one right.
So you missed the story that she didn't get it right. You're lying. So you missed the
I tried my
story.
best.
She was told that she couldn't go to Cuba, and so she went to Cuba. So she's gonna do whatever she goddamn wants to. If she says H, you know what you should do? You should take the H row out of theaters because she means business.
Bitness. I think she means
yeah.
bitness.
So there are 40 theaters in New York that are considered Broadway theaters. How many of those 40 have a street address on Broadway?
17.
Oh, interesting choice. I was surprised by this. 4. Yeah, 4
Wow.
of them are actually on Broadway. I've never been to a Broadway musical myself, so I didn't know where you go to do it, but I assumed there was
Not
like
Broadway.
a majority of them, right? Like I thought at least like, it was like there were like 26 on Broadway and then like the rest were like there's not enough space and they kind of went off Broadway a little bit. But no, 4 on Broadway. That's it.
It's all Broadway.
Everything's Broadway.
That's
I don't know where
surprising.
Yeah, when people say I did a show off Broadway, now I don't know where that is because I thought it was like not on Broadway, but now it's like you could actually have a theater on Broadway that's not a Broadway theater, I assume. Right?
Yes.
Does that
Not
make
anymore.
sense?
Nope.
No, you don't think
They're
so?
all Broadway theaters now.
Everything's a Broadway theater.
52nd and 3rd. Yep. Okay. That's a
Broadway.
Broadway theater. I don't even know if that's an actual street intersection in New York, but whatever.
Right. I did some magic on the corner. Broadway. Okay.
I'm learning so much.
You
Thank
are.
you.
Yeah, see, it's educational. It's
Final
not
question.
Yeah.
What is
Yep.
the most lucrative Broadway show to date?
Oh, most lucrative. The one that has brought in the most.
I will give
money.
you a hint.
Li-
Oh, wait. No. Okay. You already have an answer. Say your answer.
Not if you're going to give me a hint. I'll wait for the hint.
Nope.
Lion King.
Oh, damn. You got it right.
You got it! You won!
Oh, damn. You
It's grossed-
weren't rooting for me?
I was going to say it's a Disney thing, but
we
1
want it-
point.
we want you to fail. It's true. It's, yeah, it's how we are.
$1.1 billion.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's
that's
an
a lot of
insane
money.
amount of money.
Okay, so first things first, before we do this, because we often forget, to get your prize, you have to now give us the category for next week's guest. What are they going to have to suffer through?
Are you going to tell me anything about that person or?
I don't know. We don't know. They
Okay.
do music. We know that.
Oh.
But it's more fun if it's random, I think. Yeah.
Flowers.
Flowers.
Yes.
All right. Flowers it is. Is that with a U or a W?
It's with a W.
Okay. All right. I just have to make sure because it could go really sideways. Like
It is a solid question.
right. Yes, for so wheat flour is made from
Wheat.
All right. You get to reach in to our prize box. This is the box of fun from Uncle Archie's. It's Uncle Archie's box of fun. There are 25 fabulous prizes in each box. So yeah, you've selected one. Feel free to open that.
I can open it
Yeah.
right
If
now.
you don't
yeah,
like
we
it, you
can-
can always feed it to Bigley.
We can hear it. Oh, it's such a great. Oh, you can feel the excitement. The
Speak of
dog is in.
Bigley
There
is
she
totally
is.
excited.
Yeah. Oh no.
I got a whistle.
That's
Bigley-
terrible.
Bigley
totally
loves it.
Make
did
that
the-
stop immediately.
Yeah, she totally did the like cock to the side. Like, what is that? What's going on? I think you can do the slide as well, right? Is that a slide whistle? Oh,
Oh my
gonna have
God.
to- I
This
have to
just got
practice.
real.
yeah. This is
Just-
more
I need to work on this.
world music. She just wants the packaging. The dog just wants the packaging.
You got to
gonna
learn
try to-
Careless Whisper on the slide whistle now.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to work this into our performance.
Oh, that would be
Right?
awesome. Yeah. So
Be sure to tell people where you got it from.
yeah,
Okay.
I was on a podcast called Another Wasted Hour, and I got one question right, and I was gifted this slide. Oh, the dog's gonna eat it. The dog is eating the slide whistle. Everyone, this is turning out badly. Oh, the humanity.
Oh my God. That dog's farts are going to be so musical later.
Poot, poot, poot. Fart.
really wants it.
You have to teach the dog to play the slide whistle. That would be amazing.
Yes, it would.
Oh my goodness,
With
I'd be
its
so
butt,
happy.
apparently.
All right, so excellent. You got one right. That's all you needed. As you can tell from the name of the game show, please God, just get one right. And you did it.
I feel good. I feel really relieved.
You were worried going in
I
that you
was.
wouldn't get one right, and you did.
Yeah.
So awesome job. Next week, everybody can tune in for Linette's subject that we'll be torturing somebody else with, flowers. So hopefully,
Yay.
yeah, hopefully they don't have any allergies and we'll be all right. So thank you. Very, very good job on that.
Absolutely.
There's a surprising number of people that we've had on the show now that literally just get one right. I don't know if we're setting them up for it or what it is, but that's pretty impressive.
I gotta come up with more bullshit questions because those are my favorite.
Yeah, I hate you when you do that.
One of the questions was like
We should have a bonus bullshit question.
bonus bullshit question. One of our first subjects was it like I don't remember, but it was like, if what is the definition of Keith or something like that?
And it wasn't good. It's never good. That definition should not be told to children. So without further ado, now that we've done a bit of a game show about trivia about musical theater, let's have a little trivia about Linette. So we're going to do near and far.
Far again? Far! See? That's what it's all about.
So it's about.
You understand?
You understand. That's not hard. So we're going to get two stories from you, Linette. One that's close to home, maybe about your creative process or something that's happened in a place that you at least feel is close to home. And then something out on your adventures. And it sounds like you've had quite a few. So something that has happened to you while out in the world.
All
So where would you like to start? Near or far?
Near.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So give us something that happened close to home.
So actually, it's sort of it's about the importance of having a mentor.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
and that I've been really fortunate to have a couple people who just for whatever reason took me under their wing and taught me so much. And
Now, musically speaking, or
oh yeah, I'm
was
talking
it,
music.
was it also karate?
No, this is percussion.
Oh, okay.
This is percussion only.
young grasshopper.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Paint the fence for congas.
and it has been somewhat difficult to break into a percussion world where there aren't
Yeah.
that many women.
Oh man, I totally saw this going in a different direction.
Why?
I
What?
thought you were a bobsledder. My bad.
So you've had two different mentors, you're saying? Is
Oh,
that-
I've had more than
Oh,
that.
more
I've
than
had
that,
so
okay.
many, but just a couple that come to mind, you know,
Okay.
right away. And one is a Cuban named Rafael, but he lives in the States. He's up in New York now.
Nice.
Just a phenomenal, talented drummer and percussionist.
Did he
And
live here or in Oregon when like, nearby?
He lived in D.C. We
Okay.
met in D.C.
Oh, okay, cool.
That rhymes
And,
with Oregon. Starts with the same letter. That's okay.
No, it's close.
I can see how you get confused.
Yeah.
So he basically decided to mentor me or teach me because he said he didn't like the way the other male percussionists were treating me.
Oh,
right.
nice.
There was sort of this: someone would offer to help me, but there were strings attached, or
right.
just not being taken seriously.
They're like, "Oh, sweetheart, let me show you how a drum works." And
So-
yeah.
And that's when you became a knight
No, you just-
crime fighting awesome martial artist who only plays drums on people's skulls. Dun dun dun.
So he took you under his wing,
did.
and
He just stepped up and he said, I don't like what I see happening, so I'm gonna work with you. And he did, and it was just amazing to have someone do that, for nothing in return, just wanting to help.
did that
And-
really impact you in terms musically? Like,
Oh,
did you feel like you
yes.
really gained leaps and bounds at that point?
Definitely. I mean, he would come to my house 4 times a week if I wanted to and
Wow.
work with me. Right. And
That's amazing.
his influence is all over my playing.
Oh, that's great.
And yeah.
Yeah, the fact that there are people out there still, and I do see that from not just in that particular circle, but in local musicians being able to take newer bands and show them how to market things, or not just musically, but the scene. It's always a really nice feeling to see that happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And more recently, there's another guy, Gavin. He's from Benin,
Oh, okay.
and he did
I literally don't know where Benin is.
You're just
West
making up names
Africa.
now.
West Africa.
I was like, yeah, I think that's a type of whale, isn't it? I don't.
The Benin whale, yeah.
Yeah.
But the same thing. And I just feel I have a huge debt to the people who have stepped forward and have helped, and I will always appreciate them. And I think it's important for us to remember to send it forward, help
Now-
someone else.
So I'm going to ask you the tough question. Now, are you mentoring anyone?
I hope so. I hope I do it in a few ways. Yes.
Okay, good.
So
Excellent. So how about Far? We
Far.
have a couple minutes left. Tell us what's happened. I'm sure you have an amazing adventure to tell us, because it sounds like you've been well traveled on things.
I'm just going to do a particularly happy one.
Yeah,
This was,
that's great.
My first trip to Africa, I went to Madagascar with a good friend of mine that we traveled together a
Been
lot.
everywhere. That's amazing. Just
It's-
Madagascar and
it's-
Cuba in Oregon. That's
No
it.
big deal.
Yeah.
So Madagascar, it was great. And we just
Connecting flights,
Yeah, right. Stop over in Cuba.
we right away saw this band perform and went and talked to them afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And they were playing traditional music from Madagascar, which is called Malagash,
Okay.
Malagash music. And they said they were going out into the countryside the next day for a performance, for a show,
Yeah.
and just ask if we wanted to go along with them.
Oh, cool.
So there we were.
You got
on-
adopted.
Right.
You're
so
musically
we're
adopted.
in the van with the bus, which was fun enough because
Yeah.
the entire drive, 3-hour drive, they were playing and singing, and they loved Paul Simon, so we could all sing along with the Paul
Nice.
Simon
Yeah.
songs. And but the really
Which one of them
beautiful-
was named Benny?
They were all named Benny, but you could call them Al.
The most beautiful part was whenever we would go through, we were out in the countryside, and whenever the van would come through a village, all the people, adults and children,
Yeah.
would come running just as the van passed through and waving and cheering and clapping.
Did they know the band? Were they that well known, or is it just that there was somebody coming through with the bus?
It's not that they were superstars,
Okay.
but the group was known, and,
Okay.
and just the fact that they were musicians, that's being
Oh,
so
wow.
celebrated and welcomed as such an integral part woven into the fabric of everyday life.
In the U.S., we tell them to get off our lawn, so
right,
it's totally
right.
different.
So it was just
Deadbeat
a
musicians.
beautiful
Yeah.
experience.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. And I was trying to think, what would you call music from Madagascar? You said musician.
Malagash.
And I was like, Madagascarian? I don't know the word.
Madagascar.
And with that, we've run out of time, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Did you have a good time, Linette?
I had a great time.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us. Victor, thanks for being here for part of the show.
Sorry, I had to miss part of it.
Also coming up this week, Friday, December 2nd, Box Era is at Melodies in Beckley, West Virginia. Monday, February 5th, Backbeat Underground is at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. Don't forget to go check out our new friend Linette with her band Pangaea. Saturday, February 3rd at Bosa Bistro and Lounge in Washington, D.C., 7:30. Go check out www.LinetteCongamusic.com. Please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, share the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We cannot do this without you, so don't forget to review us on Facebook, iTunes, and Google Play. Thanks to Kevin Evinger, McNally22, Justin Rogers, Big Metal Records, Alchemical Records, and Engineer Adam for all their contributions. Most of all, thanks to Linette for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.
There's beauty in the air, so take me there. There's joy in the air, so lift me there. There's life in the air. Let me live there. I'm floating in the air. Let me stay here. Blown by the wind, caught up in the wind. Golden by the wind, sailing on the wind, sailing Sheltered by the earth, anchored by the metals, sculpted by water, purified by fire, but swept up, thrown off course, risky riding, racing on the wind, but swept up, thrown off course, risky riding, racing on the wind, racing high on the wind, racing high above the wind. There's beauty in the air, so take me there. There's joy in the air, so lift me there. There's life in the air. Let me live there. I'm floating in the air. Let me stay here. Inspired by the expanse of the sky, beauty in the air, dreaming in a copse of clouds, weightless through flight, drifting, whirling, coasting on a breeze.